do it. They both have a way of working together to get to the totals. Can you help the special manager explain this with a percentage of increases?
Yes, sir. This is just a kind of a graphic representation of those percentage increases in aggregate over time in a cumulative kind of fashion. And you can see that in those 6 years, collectively, it exceeds or is very close to a 45% increase. It doesn't mean that every employee has received a 45% increase over that time. It's just that what has been cumulative for the unit itself over that time.
And similarly with the salary increases, the actual cost, is that was a cost of the district, correct?
It is. Each one of those represents the dollar amount just for the increase, just for the CCEA unit in that year, and obviously compounds year over year and culminates in the total amount that's on the list.
So just in that period of time, we're over 90 million, correct?
Yes, sir.
And just this unit, you have other employees, correct? You have over 6,000 employees.
We do. We have another bargaining unit and a group of non-bargaining staff as well. Yes, sir.
And over this period of time, 94 million was spent.
Just for the increases for the teachers unit. Yes, sir.
Correct. Can you please explain this chart to the special magistrate?
This is a graphic representation, line graph, that shows the same progression from 1920, the same 6 years, and just shows the district's starting salary. And it follows the same data that we'll see, and we've already talked about, in the primarily or significantly most recent 3 years. There's been a significant increase, and culminating at the end of last year, that 57,000 was number 4 in the state.
So we're here to compare to other districts as required by the statute. And so have you used the FTE benchmarks as set forth on the screen in the past year, last year with the union and this year with the union?
The exact same slide format, yes,
Okay.
sir.
Can you explain this chart to the special magistrate?
So relative to the statute, we are obligated to look at districts across the state who are comparable or similar in size. And the FTE benchmark data represents the 5 districts who are above our district in terms of student enrollment and the 5 districts that are immediately below us in terms of student enrollment. And so that's what this grouping is. And it demonstrates kind of where we stand in terms of starting teacher salary in comparison to those FTE benchmark districts.
And so you're aware St. John's is an A district, correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And Lake County is also like A district, correct?
Yes, sir.
You're aware that Lake County only gave TISA and a bonus this year?
Yes, sir.
And St. John's was able to give a 2% raise, and they're an A district, correct?
Yes, sir.
And Sarasota had a 2-year deal that helped with them, and I believe it was, if I'm not mistaken, 3.5%. And they're below your average salary, correct?
They are an average. In this one, the starting salary, they're just above us, but they're
Okay,
the
I'm
only.
sorry, I was on the other one. You're correct.
They're the only district that outpaces us in those FTE
Benchmarks.
comparable districts. And I consult with their bargaining team regularly, and I've learned recently that they're in a dire financial situation, and I think they wish they could redo that second year.
Has the superintendent recently last week declared financial urgency in Sarasota?
That's what I was informed, yes, sir.
Sarasota.
Yes. And as I understand it, they have a serious healthcare crisis and also a issue related to ESE type supplements that they are going to be urgently bargaining, correct?
Yes, sir.
And Clay County is an A district?
Yes, sir.
And Clay County went to Impasse, you're aware, and they only spent TISA. You aware of that?
Correct. Yes, sir.
Sorry, Clay County county went to impasse this year and only spent the amount of money, the very small amount of money that the state gave through the teacher salary increase allocation. It's probably less than 0.8%. But they had over 240 positions lay off. They had a serious family empowerment issue, and their fund balance dropped like a rock, and they had to really do some desperate things this year. And it was, you know, they're also very highly ranked. Like St. John's is very highly ranked, number 1 or 2, and had a difficult year. Escambia, I represent, they had TISA, and it's a comparator and a bonus, a $600 bonus, a $400 bonus for highly effective. Just to compare our offer is much higher than these benchmarks districts, which are trying to get it, who are also
It's
A
not the
districts.
highest in the state, but
Pardon?
yours is not the highest in the state, so just be honest. Yes, a lot of districts.
I'm not saying ours is the highest.
Okay, so you're only telling me about the lowest, but yes, some districts only got the TISA money, TSIA money.
We're right there in the second, so I'm not saying we're the highest.
Okay.
And if you have slides, and we'll wait on your expert, who, I don't know that.
Well, I didn't know
we'll
you, but you're testifying, so I guess you're the expert.
No, you do a good job testifying, I'm not. I'm going over the facts.
No, but are you a
That's fine.
witness?
I allow
Earlier you said we
questions.
weren't gonna be
Allow
witnesses
leading
as lawyers.
questions.
I don't mind you talking, you can talk all night. I'm just saying, we're gonna both then do speaking during,
That's what you wanted. You
Yeah.
said to do that prior to, you asked me to do that prior
correct,
to.
I thought you said you didn't want to do.
And then you said you're going to, right?
No, I asked you what
Okay,
you
if
wanted
you're
to
not
do.
gonna testify, because I've seen you testify a lot.
Where? You watch
in
films
Palm
of me?
Beach. Yeah,
Thank you.
you're welcome.
I appreciate it.
So if you won't, I won't.
No, go ahead, you've already done it for an
I
hour.
would like-
Keep
I
going.
would like you to guide to the extent that you need to, Mr. Brown.
Sure.
But I'd like him to be giving the testimony.
We'll do.
Can I make one point before we
Sure.
go on this? To me, it's significant to point out on the benchmark, FTE benchmark starting salary, 7 of the districts that are included in this benchmark group are still below $50,000 in terms of starting salary. And we're only behind Sarasota, who was one of the districts that were above us. We were in 4th position at the end of last year, so that's just significant.
And now teacher average salaries, where did you get this data from? Did you make it up?
No, sir. The source is denoted on the bottom of the slide. It's right off the DOE website.
Okay, let's go through this slide because this is important of where we stand, because we may hear tomorrow from an expert that inflation's eating us alive and that we're the worst, or we're low ranking with other districts. And I just want to show the actual districts that we have compared to.
Well, in this slide, this is the same benchmark FTE student enrollment grouping, but obviously addresses average teacher salaries. And you can see the number for Collier, and we're very proud of that. We were actually 2nd in the state at the end of last year, only behind Monroe, who happens to lead in both of those categories, starting and average teacher salary. And in this one, we actually included the state of Florida average, which is the last cell on the bottom of the chart. And you can see that we're actually over $16,000 above the state of Florida average, and far outpacing all of our peers in this category. 7 of these districts are below $55,000 in average teacher salary. 3 are between $55,000 and $58,000. And again, we're number 1 in this group, even above Sarasota, who was above us in the starting teacher salary benchmark.
And does this help in recruitment and retention, revealing these statistics in HR?
No doubt.
All right. Can you explain for the special magistrate, the state leaders in average and teacher salaries?
Yes, sir. This is not specifically part of the statutory requirement, but we wanted the special magistrate to realize that we we can benchmark ourselves among the state leaders in both average teacher salary and starting teacher salary. And you can see where we stand. I mentioned in terms of average teacher salary, we're only slightly behind Monroe County, who leads in both of those metrics, starting and average. And then, as mentioned in the last slide, because they're in our FTE benchmark grouping, ahead of Sarasota and Walton and Charlotte County. And again, the
What's a
state,
statewide average?
$57,373.61, and we're about a little over $16,000 ahead of that.
And according to the NEA, what's a national average teacher salary?
It's denoted there, $72,000, $72,030.
Thank you. Can you please explain this slide to the special magistrate?
Yes, sir. This is a graphic representation of the Collier County Public Schools average teacher salary and the progression over that same 6-year period. And you can see how it's increased and consistent with the other data and I think testimony. The most recent 3 years really demonstrate the most significant jump. And we attribute that to the obvious substantial salary increases that the board supported and that both groups bargained on the last 3 years. And also, we have to mention that years of service credit in the 23-24 year. That increase and provided a significant bump, and you can see that demonstrated on the graph.
Now, the special magistrate in the statute requires to look at districts surrounding Collier, so let's do that for average teacher pay. And if you could explain this chart and why you chose those counties.
Yes, sir. It's another required data point in that statute you mentioned, so we obviously wanted to share it with the special magistrate. These are our contiguous districts in terms of average teacher salary at the end of last year. And basically, if we had a map and you could look at it, all of these districts would touch Collier County. And so you can see that's why they were selected: Henry, Miami-Dade, Broward, Lee, and Monroe. And obviously, as is demonstrated in the chart, Collier County Public Schools far outpaces all of them, except for Monroe, which again is first in this metric in the entire state.
Are you losing teachers to Lee County at $59,388 at the average teacher pay?
No.
And again, what percentage of teachers live here in Collier County?
81%.
And are you losing teachers to Henry County?
Not to my knowledge at all.
All right, let's continue with the starting pay of again, the districts that actually touch Collier County, correct?
Yes, sir. It's the same group, contiguous, right around our county, touch our county. And you can see, again, we far outpace most of them, only behind, again, Monroe County, which is first in this metric in the state.
Can you explain the relevance of this slide?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You mentioned this during your opening. We have 2 current bargaining units. CCEA, our teachers are affiliated with the FEA, Florida Education Association. We have a non-instructional union that we refer to as OCAP. The entire acronym is spelled out there, and I will try to enlighten everyone. It's the Collier County Association of Educational, Office, and Classroom Assistant Personnel. These are assistants, ESE assistants, paraprofessionals, tutors. All of those staff are in classrooms, in front of kids, interacting with teachers, supporting them, mentioned, last year, OCAP negotiated and accepted a salary increase of $4 million for their unit. And the OCAP leadership attended all of the things that we encourage both units to do. The board budget presentations, we link all of those on our website after referring to them and encouraging people to be present. Leadership for OCAP attended those. They consulted district leadership, asked questions. They actually attended and observed a lot of our CCEA bargaining sessions this year. And as a result, in two negotiation sessions, OCAP negotiated and accepted a salary increase of just under half of what they got the previous year.
And are you aware that Palm Beach has, they'll have an average base salary, and then they have a referendum that says you get $7,000 as long as this referendum lasts,
Yes,
and they hold it off to the side,
yes.
correct? Do you hold any of your portion of your tax neutral 0.35% off to the side, or do you throw it into the base pay forever?
My understanding of that, and our CFO is amazing and can give much better testimony, is that the tax neutral referendum allows us to shift money from our capital budget into our operational budget, and so it all comes from our operational budget.
So there's nothing on the side here in Collier with respect to average teacher wages when we have those slides. Go up to it. Hang on.
It's telling it's touchscreen.
So when we have these averages at, is it 7.3? What is our Collier average? I'm hard to see, sorry. 73,000.
Yes, sir. 571.
And with Miami-Dade, if they have a referendum, is that on the side? That's not in their base, correct?
Correct.
All right. Same with, again, I won't testify, I'll let him talk to you about that.
Monroe also has a referendum.
And do you participate in the Florida Education Negotiators?
Yes, I do.
And in your capacity, do you try to recommend to your team on how to be competitive in salary and wages?
Absolutely. We attend, Ms. Winrich and I, primarily conferences with Finn. They have 4 throughout the year. We try to go as much as we can. It's an amazing group. All 67 counties are represented. That you get real-time insight into how things are going, trends in terms of budgets and what counties are able to do. And I can tell you that when in the recent past, people in that group are frustrated with us and what we've been able to do, but are all experiencing the same kinds of issues that we are experiencing here. It's across the state.
So I'm not testifying, you have heard other districts having a very hard time.
All of them.
All right, that's all I have. Thank you, John.
Are you passing the witness?
Opportunities to cross.
Yeah. I'm just checking my colleague. You're passing the witness? Okay. Hello, sir. Good evening. First thing, let's talk about your benefits. One of the things you agree that it's a team effort here in Collier, correct? You consider yourselves one team, management, the other union, principals, right? We're a team.
Sure.
Sure. And all of the team members face the reality that, for example, housing is extremely expensive in Collier County, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. And you would agree that at no point did the administrators ever give themselves better insurance packages or plans than they give to all the teachers here in the audience? Is that true?
When you say administrators.
Anybody that's not in the instructional unit, anybody in this district, including the superintendent, it is true that some of them have a better overall health insurance plan than do the teachers, correct?
No, sir.
Everyone has the exact same plan, pays the same thing, nobody pays anything different.
That's my understanding, yes, sir.
That's your understanding, okay, nothing in the tier 1. Isn't it true that you guys did an analysis where you changed titles and gave people raises above the amount that is being offered to the bargaining unit? You did a reorganization, didn't you?
I'm not familiar with what you're talking about.
Okay, all right, then let's go on through your charts. Let's start right back where you started. If you'd be kind enough to, who's ever working the chart, we'll take it, are there page numbers on here? Why don't I see page numbers?
It's in the gray.
It's in the gray?
It's on the bottom, right hand.
Bottom right, Mr. Lur, do you see the page numbers? I don't see them, I'm just getting old, I guess.
Some of them have.
I see one here, I guess it's page.
See, this one says 12 on the bottom.
No,
and
I mean,
there's
show
11.
me where it says page 5 in gray, I'm getting old.
Page 5.
No, that doesn't have.
That one doesn't have it.
Okay, all right, thanks, I was just worried I put my keys in the refrigerator.
3, 4, 5.
Okay, so let's go to number 5, is that fair enough,
Fair enough.
Len? Okay. So according to you all, that 24-25 package was $24 million, correct?
Yes, sir.
Tell Mr. Lurie the total general fund income of the district.
I don't have that information.
That's Mr. Antonacci.
So you're testifying on all this, but you don't know how that 24 million fits into the overall budget.
One of the amazing things about our team.
I just asked you, do you know?
We have amazing experts in all of the realms that are involved.
And aren't your teachers amazing experts?
They absolutely
And they're
are.
on their team, huh? And are you going to agree with me that you only gave one salary proposal during these negotiations and never a second proposal? Isn't that true? It's a yes or no, sir.
Well, it's not exactly a yes or no, but for the purpose of this process, I will say yes.
Okay. It had an option 1, option 2. You passed it once and you never changed it after the first time you passed that proposal. True?
There is context involved in that.
I'll let you explain the context. Enjoy yourself. It's a simple question. We wouldn't let our students answer that. Is it true or not true that you passed one proposal with an option 1 and a 2 on it and have never made a second proposal in these negotiations?
After the October 1 deadline, which is critical to consider, this commissioner, this governor are not playing games around that. That was a significant pressure point for us.
Okay.
And so in the middle of October, after we had the initial proposal from the union, yes, we made one salary proposal that included 2 options.
All right, so we'll let the governor's folks know that you're saying they're not playing games. There was nothing passed in any law that said you could only pass and only were allowed to pass one proposal. Is there?
No law that
Okay.
I'm aware of.
And I'm at other bargaining tables, just like my colleague here, and I've not seen anybody only pass one proposal. Could be, but I haven't seen it.
Is there a question?
Yeah, you weren't legally obligated to sit on one proposal during this entire negotiations, were you?
We follow the direction of our board.
Was the board legally obligated to not bargain during these negotiations and only sit on one proposal? It's a yes or no, if you know.
He's not answering legally what.
Oh, you let him answer everything else, man. Let's just keep riding this way. Go ahead, sir.
We follow the direction of our board.
Correct, the board made a direction, but the board wasn't under law mandated to sit on one proposal, was it, if you know?
I answered earlier that I'm not aware of a law that requires you to make only one proposal.
And you sit here today at the highest ranking HR and you have no idea what the overall income of this school system is in all funds, categorical, capital, general fund, do you? You have no idea.
I rely on our experts.
Okay. Maybe the first HR director I see that has no clue. Do you get involved in compensation
He's not the
studies?
HR director.
I don't know what he is. I apologize. Do you get involved in negotiations?
Yes, sir.
And those negotiations include salary.
Yes, sir.
And during those negotiations, you give information to the teachers about what you can afford and what you can't afford.
At the direction of the board,
Uh-huh.
and based on our team consultation with our CFO, yes.
Right, and at no point do you check the overall income of the district while you're sitting there lecturing us about what can be paid and what can't be paid?
I trust our CFO.
Okay, fair enough. All right. Let's go on to the, I guess it's page 6. This is your percentage equivalents. When they settled for these, I have no idea if these are accurate, but assuming they are, when the union settled for these raises and negotiated them, good work, did you tell them when they got the 24, 25 increase that they better understand that they're not going to get an adequate offer the next time at their table? Did you tell them that?
Can you say that one more time?
Yeah,
please?
when they settled in 24, 25, did you tell them, oh, by the way, you're going to see a chart that's going to bind you that you can't get a reasonable offer the next time we're at the table? Did you tell them that?
I don't believe we did.
No, you didn't ever condition this raise on that that this raise would prohibit them from getting a raise or even bigger raise next time, correct?
I don't believe we
Okay,
did.
so you show this chart of all these raises. Some are good, right? Fair enough. But at no point did any of these raises, bind you as to what you could give this round of negotiations, did they?
We follow our direction from the board
Mm-hmm.
and from our experts, CFO, and the fiscal landscape has substantially changed, and he will be able to share that information.
I'm sure you
I
will.
will take the answer to that question. as you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, let's go on to the historical salary increases on the next page, which is 7. Thank you for turning it. I appreciate that. So again, without questioning one way or the other, these salary increases in these digits, first of all, you would agree these are averages, correct? Not every teacher got the same percent, did they?
They represent unit increase percentages.
Correct. It's the overall increase to the unit.
Yes, sir.
Some got less, some may have gotten more, correct? Okay. Now, you didn't tell the magistrate how much prescription costs went up, paid out of the pocket for these teachers during that same period, did you?
I wasn't asked about prescription.
Do you know about it?
I don't know.
So you're the chief negotiator, you know that there's like certain cancer drugs that are driving incredible costs up for all of us in this country, immunotherapy approaches for certain diseases like cancer treatment, correct? Are you familiar with that?
Yes, sir. I'm also familiar with that the board pays for the individual healthcare coverage for every individual employee if they want to avail themselves of that, to the tune of $13,000 per employee.
Good, thank you for the paid announcement. But here's the question that I have. Teachers are paying more for prescriptions than they did the year before, true?
I don't have that exact data in front of me.
You're the
but
chief negotiator and you don't know what's coming out of their pockets for additional RX costs?
We don't bargain prescriptions.
But you bargain what they need to live. And if they are on a cancer treatment or a specialty drug, the specialty drugs are incredible drivers of the healthcare challenge we're facing in our country, aren't they?
I believe that's accurate, yes, sir.
Didn't you just pay a company named Fleet $1.6 million to address some of the healthcare challenges?
I don't know the exact number, but I know we engaged in a relationship with that.
And that was a choice you made.
That was
the
just
board.
the board made, yes,
Okay.
sir.
And that 1.6 million perhaps could have been put into the pot to close the money that we're apart on this deal, correct?
The board makes those decisions.
Okay, so tell the magistrate that the board could not have made a decision to take that same 1.6 and put it in the pot so you could have offered a second offer. They could have, right?
The board makes those decisions, sir.
Okay, and if the board made the decision to accept the union's last raise, then you would be sitting here saying, we got a deal, right?
I'm not sure what you're asking.
I'll ask it again. I apologize for my lack of clarity. If the board so decided that they could grant the union's last proposal, that's what you would do, correct?
If both teams agreed on a proposal,
Mhm.
that's the way that the system works, yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Let's go on to page, wow, so hard. I guess it's 11. Where are you seeing it? Oh, it is 11. I covered it with my pen. My mistake. Thank you. So on page 11, benchmark salary. Do you see the FTE benchmark district starting salary?
Yes, sir.
Okay. This is not mandated by the government as to who are the peers in this chart, correct?
No, sir. We were looking, the presentation that we make in bargaining is based on the statute that you referenced in your opening.
No.
And similarly sized districts.
That's what you say are similarly sized districts. But it also says in the statute that we can look at other factors, does it not?
I don't have the statute. in front of me,
Okay,
but
well, let's just.
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, fair enough. So you don't have Dade in here, correct?
Miami-Dade?
Yeah.
Yes, we do here.
I'm on this page, I'm missing it on page 11.
It's on the contiguous ones.
I know, dude, I haven't gotten to the contiguous one.
Okay.
I'm on this page.
I help you, sorry. Which page you want again?
The
11.
11.
Okay.
Miami-Dade's not on this chart.
Okay.
sir.
And Broward's not on here, is it?
No, sir.
Now, would you tell Mr. Lurie, he's pretty skilled guy, but if I head on 75 and I head south, or not south, I guess I'd be heading east, I can run into Broward County, don't I?
Broward County is included in our presentation.
I
So is
know.
Miami-Dade.
Boy, you're doing a good job. That's a chart coming up. But on this chart, on the starting teacher salaries, you didn't include Dade and Broward on this chart, did you?
They're not included on this particular chart.
And this is a benchmark group of districts that you all decided in your interpretation of the statute to put on this chart, correct?
Based on comparable student population, yes, sir.
So that's okay. That's what you based it on. The statute doesn't say that, but I get it. My point is, Dade has a higher starting salary than some of these districts on this chart, do they not? Broward has a higher starting salary, which kisses this county. You can put your feet on both sides. Do they not? Than some of these other districts here?
They do.
Okay. And you guys made a decision not to put them in here based on your interpretation of the statute, correct?
I just want to point out one thing because it's, I think, fairly important. Not once at bargaining in the last 2 years has this issue that you're raising been raised. They've accepted this. In fact, at the beginning of this year, Mr. Lewis and Mr. Farmer, who used to be employed by the CCEA, asked us for our list of benchmark districts, and we shared it with them.
Of course. And how many times have we been to Impasse before?
This is my first.
Yeah, and how many times have you only put one salary offer on before? Ever in your career? First, isn't it?
This year, yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go on to the next page, if you would be kind enough. Help me out here. 12. Now, here you have FTE benchmark districts. Again, your choice as to who the peers would be in this study, correct?
Based on student population, yes, sir.
Now, you talked about you talked, well, I don't believe the statute references student population, do they?
It says similarly sized districts, I believe.
Similar sized districts. Well, okay, you're using students. Okay, I see what you're saying. All right, now let's go on to this page, 12. Same thing. You picked these benchmark districts, did you not?
Based on the lake size, yes, sir.
Okay. Also, the statute talks about those that are geographically close to this district, does it not? There's another part of the statute.
Yes, sir.
And if I know this, why don't you tell the magistrate, in case he's confused, where Escambia County is located?
North of us.
Pretty far north, huh? Isn't it up towards Pensacola?
Yes, sir.
6-7 hour drive? Okay. All right. Where's St. Johns County? How far from here? How many hours by way of the Crow?
Depends how fast you drive.
You could probably get to Dade or Broward closer, couldn't you, in less time?
You could. Our average salary was second in the state, so we're higher than Dade and Broward both.
Okay. Now, in your average salary, and I want Mr. Lurie to hear this, you didn't include any of the teachers that included the referendum money, did you?
We have both of the districts that you keep mentioning, Miami-Dade and Broward, included in our contiguous district comparison.
Correct, but in that contiguous district comparison of Dade and Broward, you put a salary in that did not include the referendum money, correct?
We put the salary that's available on the FDOE website.
Okay, but the question is, you're a smart guy. You know that they get extra money called referendum. They've got them for years after years, although they're up for re-vote every 4 years, correct? You know my teachers in Dade, I'm their lawyer, they get 33%, some of them, above their base salary. Some are getting 5, 6, 8, 10, 12,000 extra. Do you know that to be
This
true?
is just their base. That's what he's saying.
I know. No. He said average teacher salary. He didn't say base. Where on this sheet does it say base in your title?
I'm just telling you that our source.
You didn't want the magistrate to see anything, and you didn't put base in here. You put average salaries. That is not correct for Dade or Broward, is it?
This is the data that's available on the FDOE website.
Oh, I know, but dude, you're smart. It's a simple answer. This does not include the $5, $6, $8, $10,000, $12,000 extra salary that people get in those counties because of the referendum money, correct?
If there's something beyond what FDOE categorizes as salary, I'm not familiar with.
Do you think the school board realizes the job you have and that you have no idea as the chief negotiator what the take-home pay, gross take-home pay is for teachers in the counties that are next door to you?
My bosses want me to be concerned about Collier County Public Schools.
Yeah, but you got a lot of other counties here, including Dade and Broward, but you omitted what teachers get to live on in those counties, didn't you?
I don't know about the intricacies of their salary.
Wow, okay. Do you have a resume?
Yes.
And does your resume include that you do not know these things as someone who's the chief negotiator for one of the best school districts?
Your Honor, he's being disrespectful.
I'm not being disrespectful. What's
Yes, you are.
disrespectful is to these people.
I know.
Andy
You're
knows
not.
very well what I'm talking about. And he knows they get a referendum,
Sorry,
and he
I
knows
see
how
the
much it is,
Right, let's
because he's a
stop.
smart
He's
guy,
already
and he
asked
knows
and
how it
answered.
works.
He's already asked and answered.
Let's
Move on.
back away from ad hominem.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll back away from the comment. You're gonna have to look at the record and see what the lead negotiator is saying he doesn't know.
The point you're making,
It's been made. Fair enough.
Yes.
Okay, let's go on to the recruitment and retention that you talked about. Congratulations, okay? Now, what's the recruitment and retention for all the other benchmark districts?
Ms. Wynn actually going to be able to share information about that.
Are there other districts doing as well as you are in recruitment and retention?
I think we're at the top of that metric also.
Do you ever ask these people why they stay?
We do survey staff.
Okay,
yes, sir.
and isn't it sometimes because they love teaching and they love their students, but they don't necessarily love their administrators? Why are they staying? Why do you have such good recruitment? Could be the package. Could be they have a husband, wife, spouse, significant other, and they can't leave the county.
Your Honor, is he testifying or asking a question?
No, you got to talk a lot, Len.
he's proposing hypotheticals that can be answered.
Do you know what drives the recruitment number that we're all proud of? The retention number, rather, that we're all proud of?
I believe it's a lot of things relative to my testimony.
But you don't know.
I would say that our salary package and
Is that in the survey?
consistently paying.
Does that come out in the survey?
I don't have the survey data in front of me.
Can we take a break here and for you to go get it for me?
No.
You're gonna tell me that the real reason they stay is the salary?
We have testimony from Valerie that will testify to this.
Valerie, you got the survey you can share with us?
She's not testifying right now.
No, I'm saying it would help this test. This is supposed to be part of bargaining. This is not an adversarial
This is
proceeding.
not part of bargaining. We're in a hearing. We're
Wait,
not bargaining.
time out. Chapter 447 includes the impasse procedure
At
as
the
part
end
of
of
the collective.
bargaining, the end,
It is not the end, Lynn.
it is.
Read the law,
Is
okay?
Ms. Winter going to be testifying?
Yes, she'll be providing all of this. We have real
Okay.
data for you on that.
Okay. The chief negotiator doesn't know whether what is the basis for the retention scores. That's what you're telling me. I'm Just yes or no?
It's a number of factors, and you're going to hear testimony about them.
I know, he just told you to say that. The question is, you don't know.
I know there are a number of factors, and you're going to hear testimony about
Do
them.
you know what the factors are and what percentage of the teachers say they stay here because they're satisfied with the salary?
Not specifically on the survey, but I've talked about significant contributors to that retention that we have.
Do you know what percentage of teachers have responded that is they are satisfied with the salary and that's why they stay here?
I don't.
Okay, we'll let Valerie talk about it apparently. Okay. Are you familiar that the Dade County referendum money included raises for the teachers for 4 years that ranged from an extra 9.6% to 33%, just called the president of the union while I was sitting here. Were you aware that it was 9.6 to 33%?
No,
Okay. Did you check it out?
I don't have information about the referendum.
Okay, thank you. Go on to page, help me out, Sheree. 15. Where do you see it? Thank you. Excellent eyes. All right, I'm sorry, 15. So when you did the now here you do contiguous districts, correct?
Yes, sir.
But you didn't put any of this data in when you did your benchmark group, did you?
Our benchmark, FTE benchmark group is just that, based on similarly sized districts.
I understand. So that's your benchmark. So now you're doing contiguous. So all I want to get clear for these is that the contiguous peer group here, Dade, Broward, Lee, Collier, Monroe, and Hendry, okay? Within that group, Lee, for example, got a higher raise this year, percentage-wise, than the one you have on the table. True?
I believe that the way they characterize their raise, yes, is a higher percentage increase
Okay.
this year.
But you didn't put that anywhere on any chart for Mr. Lurie, did you?
This chart has to do with average salary among those groups.
But anywhere in any of the charts you're sharing with the neutral fact finder, you never told them that there were other districts, either in the contiguous peer group or the benchmark peer group, that got a higher salary raise than the one you have on the table, correct?
There are very few of them
I agree.
in this year.
I agree, but you didn't put it on the chart, did you?
That's not what this chart is about, no, sir.
Okay. So, sir, let's move on. In the Dade and Broward on this chart, you don't have any reflection of the supplements from the referendum, do you?
I feel like we've covered this ground. No, sir, I don't.
Okay, we'll cover the ground. It's their only day to get a hearing. I'm sorry we're irritating you.
He's not irritating. He's not being irritated. No, you don't have to add that.
Okay, no, I'm gonna add it. He knows exactly what he's doing. Instead of answering the question, he's trying to make his point. Let him go ahead. It's their day.
But he's not
They're-
irritated.
They'll make their judgment. I'll let the people you care so much about make their judgment, not me. Okay, now, let's go on to the next one, the contiguous districts. Now, wait, before we leave this, on this page, I apologize again, on 15, your source was the Florida Department of Education, FLDOE, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's go to the next one. This is starting teacher salary, 24-25 contiguous districts, correct?
Yes, sir.
Now, you didn't get that from the Florida DOE, did you?
No, sir.
You got that from a private group of negotiators like you that share data, correct?
Colleagues, yes, sir.
Colleagues.
FDOE doesn't maintain the starting district
Correct.
salary.
But this is not an official verified source of information. This is sharing between your colleagues.
I trust our colleagues, yes, sir.
Well, do you trust this colleague?
I do.
And he's telling you some of this data is wrong.
What's his
He's not
source?
telling you. He's not saying it's wrong.
No,
He
you
hasn't
know
said
there's been
anything.
arguments over this on the starting salary because you haven't included referendum money.
We've never had that argument.
Okay, I'm telling you we're having the argument. The reality is that this data is not peer-reviewed or is independent data from the government, correct?
The source is denoted at the bottom there. That's where it came from.
I I know, but I just want to clarify that it's a group of you who bargain against unions, who say no to negotiations, right? Sometimes say no to proposals, who share data amongst themselves, correct?
It includes representatives from all 67 counties, yes, sir.
Exactly, and I'm sure it's a good group. All right, let's go to this non-instructional group. Esmond, help me out here. I want to make sure I got this, okay? Just want to make sure I got the math here. So you're trying to show that our other sister union here, who belongs to our state and national parent unions, they settled already, correct?
Yes, sir.
And they accepted a salary increase in your first bullet of $4 million, correct?
The previous year, yes, sir.
Mm-hmm. And you know they're a much smaller group. They're about 1,100 people, right?
That's accurate, yes, sir.
So they're gonna be smaller, aren't they? Correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we'll go apples to apples for a moment, okay? Now, I don't know if I have this right, so my colleague over here will make sure. Oh, he's right over here. All right. So the non-instructional, you got a 50-cent increase to base and a 50-cent increase to step, or $1, correct? If you remember, you were the negotiator.
Which year?
This year.
This year, right now, the one you talked about.
That's accurate.
Okay. So you got $1. And they work 196 days.
It varies depending on their position. Some are less than that.
Okay, but that's average, right? That would be the majority.
It's close to that, but some work fewer days than that.
All right. And so roughly this raise, if we're doing dirty math, was $1,568 raise for the non-instructional on average. Does that seem right? Because that's what our math tells us.
That we don't calculate it that way.
Well, how much, do the math. Does 50 cents, $1 per hour, 8 hours a day, times, what we believe is average is 196 days, we come up with 1,568. Tell me where we're wrong.
I'll take your word for it.
You're the negotiator for these units. You put a chart in telling him. Did you not put this chart in?
I don't see a chart here.
It's right there, right there.
This is a slide. There's not a chart on here.
Okay, I'll see the teacher after class. Okay? The slide, we're gonna call it a slide. You sponsored this slide, did you not?
I contributed, yes, sir.
Okay, but you sponsored it, you presented it to the magistrate.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And on this, we're coming that the average raise for the non-instructional under this 50 cent is $1,568 per non-instructional employee on average, correct? He's right there.
I'll take your word for it.
Okay.
Mr. Lurie can do this.
And tell him your offer for teachers is $13.20, isn't it?
It depends which option you're looking at.
$13.50 is one option, and $13.20 is the other option, isn't it?
It's actually over 2,000 for about 80% of the unit.
For 80%, but that, apples to apples, is $13.20 versus the $13.50. The teachers were $13.20, $1,320, and the non-instructional was $1,568, correct?
It depends which option you're looking at, yes, sir.
Okay. So percentage-wise, the non-instructional offer on a percent of base salary is higher than the offer you're offering the teachers here today in your one-time offer, correct?
For the unit itself, as a little bit higher unit percentage increase for the non-instructional staff, yes, sir.
Correct. Did you say that anywhere in here on the slide?
You can see what's there.
Okey doke. I think then we stopped, you kind of stopped here. Is this where you stopped? I don't think you got into the FEFP.
No,
No,
that's gonna be,
okay.
Mr. Antonacci.
Okay, a couple other areas then. Thank you, sir. Hang in there with me, sir. I'm almost done. Okay. Now, you know anything about the general fund? I mean, are you an expert on the general fund?
Not at all, no, sir.
If you were told to offer more money in this from the school board, you would be able to, correct?
We follow the direction of the board.
Okay.
Our proposal options reflect that.
Now, you talked a little bit about the retention rate, did you not?
I didn't.
You didn't mention retention earlier in cross-examination?
I was asked if I thought that
Well,
our
I'll save
salary
it.
increases.
But you keep your pulse because of your job title on morale out at the school sites, correct?
I'm really not sure what that
You
means.
talked about A-rated, did you not?
Our district is A-rated.
Yeah, I know, I'm proud of it. That includes the performance of your teachers, right? It takes everyone to row
Sure.
the district, okay? Are you aware that you have implemented during this time of recruitment, retention, a clock-in program here where you now have to use an app when you clock into work as a teacher? Are you aware of that?
I do it myself and have for the last 2 years. It's part of our audit finding, yes, sir.
Yeah. How many districts in the state do you know tell professionals to clock into work?
I know Lee does because I came from there. And
I
did
know,
it
I
for
just said,
years.
how many of the 60,
That's the only other one.
you know how many lawyers in Len or my firm clock in?
I don't.
You know how many special magistrates have to clock into work after master's degrees and doctorate degrees? Specialty training, recertification, in-service training? But you don't know, okay. Do you know how many evaluations, walkthroughs, an average teacher has during a school year?
I know that it varies depending on the years of service.
What do you estimate your offer to be average percentage increase if you take the dollars and you transform them in an algorithm to your offer? You're offering everything in terms of dollars. What do you estimate that to be, if you know, or do we leave it to the CFO?
Well, it's the same way you posed it to me. You can do the math. 80% of the unit is going to get above $2,200.
I know, but I'm asking you, we'll let him do it, okay? All right, one more second. You're on the insurance committee, are you not?
Yes,
I
sir.
want to go back to that insurance issue. You're not going to tell the magistrate that not one single teacher in this union's health insurance costs, including everything, co-pays, prescriptions, nothing's gone up a penny for them out of their pocket. You're not going to say that.
I don't know each individual situation. I know that healthcare costs are expensive and continue to rise. Yes, sir.
Correct. But you get the data, you get the experience. I do this type of stuff. You do know that even though you are working hard to be our partners on it, you are, that they are also getting hit, especially those who are sick, with increased healthcare cost from their pocketbooks, checkbooks, purses, and wallets, correct?
He's already answered that, Your Honor.
Is it a yes or a no? What was the answer? If you answered it, just remind me whether, yes or no, Landon.
I don't know specifically about each individual employee. I know that the district did not pass on any of the increase in healthcare premiums to employees this year.
Premiums, we understand that, but there's a thing called plan design underneath the premiums, correct? That includes co-pays, correct? That includes insurance, correct? That includes what you pay if you have to go to an emergency room or an urgent care center, correct? It includes how much you have to pay for specialty drugs, all drugs, correct?
Sure.
You're on the insurance committee. What drugs are driving the what drivers are causing the health insurance to go up so much in your plan?
There are a number of factors.
Right.
I'm not an expert in health.
But you're on the committee. You pay attention, I'm sure.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you get evaluated?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. So my question is, you would agree that there are additional burdens on some of your instructors in this bargaining unit as a result of RX prescriptions going up?
I'm sure that's accurate.
How much of that is eroding, on average, the offer you're making?
I have no idea.
Thank you, I have no further questions.
Just a few, Your Honor, on cross. I'll try to keep this short.
Did you have fun with that?
There was some mention of $1.6 million spent on fleet. Was that a cost-saving measure to be self-insured with many large districts to keep premiums down in the district?
Yes, and my experience is that this board tries to do everything they can do to save money.
We agree. I agree with that. I agree.
Thank you, sir.
He says they pay the same. I don't know. Thank you.
All right, just take 5 and have me tickets.
Hey, Esmond, Andy looks like an idiot. And they tried. I give them a Do me a favor. This is the document?
Yes, and I did my math.
I believe you. Does anybody have another pen? I have a highlighter. Do you have a highlighter, Madam Teacher?
Pardon?
I'm looking for my.
Are you telling him?
Oh. I'm looking for my yellow highlighter. I'm sorry, I'm so hard.
Yellow highlighter?
I know. I'm born that way.
I don't see it.
All right, let me go find one.
Okay. I already have. Will stay.
Mr. Keys. Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Antonucci, would you please be sworn in by the court reporter?
Someone swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth.
Mr. Antonucci, could you please advise the superintendent your current title?
My name is John Antonacci. My title is Chief Financial Officer.
And that's in Collier County School Board, correct?
Yes.
Okay. How long have you been employed by the Collier County School Board?
Since 2004, so approximately 21 years.
And do you have any children?
Yes, I have 2 children.
And do your children go to the schools here?
Yes, they do.
And how, I'll just try to I'll try to be quicker because it's getting late. How long have you been the CFO at the Collier County?
Since 2021, so approximately 4 years,
Okay.
4 to 5 years.
And you've been in various other roles in departments at the school board, correct?
Yes.
Give us a Reader Digest version of your education, college and whatnot.
Sure. Well, I graduated from Collier County Public Schools from Gulf Coast High School, so I'm a product of the school system. And then once I started working for the district, I finished my degree at Florida Gulf Coast University. I got my bachelor's in computer information systems, and then my master's in business administration from Florida Gulf Coast University as well.
All right. Do you have any certifications that make you qualified to be a CFO?
Yes, I am a certified administrator of school finance and operations from the Association of School Business Officials.
And what does it take, what process is that to get that certification?
You have to, it's about 8 subject areas that you have to study for and take an exam and pass the exam.
And approximately how many out of 67 counties have this hold this certification?
I'm one of 7.
Is there a current CFO crisis in Florida with the lack thereof?
Unfortunately, yes.
Do you also have a certificate of completion from the Institution of Florida School Finance?
Yes, that's a 2-year program that I completed from the Florida School Finance Officers Association.
And are you a member of any professional organizations related to your work?
Yes, I'm a member of the Government Finance Officers Association. I'm a member of the Association of School Business Officials and a member of the Florida School Finance Officers Association.
And as a member of the School Finance Officer Association, do you attend conferences?
Yes, we have annual conferences that I attend.
And when you say you're a member, are there approximately how many members are there in this association?
Well, there's representation, I would assume, from all 67 districts.
And as a result of your work product, has the district won any financial awards for your financial reporting?
Yes, since 2023, we've won 2 annual certificates of achievement and certificates of excellence in financial reporting. One from the Government Finance Officers Association and one from the Association of School Business Officials.
And what do those awards basically stand for?
They're basically for transparency and excellence in our financial reports that we produce annually in our annual comprehensive financial report.
All right, we're going to walk through just basically some budget information. And we'll start on slide 18, which is in very, I confess, small numbers on the bottom. If you could walk the special magistrate as to beginning of how we get funded and how money comes into the district and out of the district.
Sure. So I'll provide a brief overview of the Florida Education Finance Program, which is how we are funded. It's commonly referred to as the FEFP. So the FEFP dictates how much funding each school district receives annually using student counts and cost factors for programs such as exceptional student education, English language learners, district cost differences, and other variables. The required local effort millage, school property tax required of all 67 counties, feeds into the FEFP.
Do you have any say in that required local effort?
No, as the name implies, required local effort is how much the legislature and the state determine that each county must levy in property taxes.
Okay.
During each legislative session, every component of the
So you start your budget in July, correct?
Yes.
And how does that work? What do you rely on preliminary?
Preliminary
They funded above the TSIA amount, please.
So this chart highlights the district's ongoing commitment to investing more in teacher salaries than the TISA dollars provided by the state. As you can see, we have consistently provided increases that far exceed the state allocation.